Let me start with the mission of Toastmasters Club, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Of course, being an online meeting, we have few set of guidelines before we start. The thing is, please be all. I request all participants to be on mute until it's your turn to speak, and I request all participants to keep your phone on silent, and also you can have enabled your video, but please unmute yourself. Yeah, with that, I would like to introduce our presiding officer or our president to the club, Ramakrishna. Over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening um, to all of you. Thank you all for joining this open session today. And it's a pleasure to see you all. This session is arranged especially for you to gain maximum insight on what Toastmasters is all about and why you need it. Well, our club, Ericsson Toastmasters Club, is headquartered in Chennai and was chartered in October 2016. And since then, we have had 174 quality meetings, which means we are approaching a big milestone. And this meeting is a precursor to that milestone meeting. So I take this opportunity to welcome you all to our 175th meeting. Now, as part of that meeting, we are going to organize special events, contests, and educational sessions. An email related to the contest you would have already received on Friday. If not, you can always approach to us and we'll send it to you. Now, it's time to begin the main event. And I would like to introduce a special person for that. A person who is not only popular within our club, he's not even popular within organization, but popular across organization. And thanks to this beautiful platform called Toastmasters. He has recently been crowned as a division champion in international speech contest and is going to move on to the next level and make our club proud. And he is the first person to attain the title of Distinguished Toastmaster, which means he has achieved the highest educational achievement in Toastmaster fraternity. All in all, a kindful, joyful, passionate, and a person whom we all can look up to. So let me welcome this amazing person, DTM Raghavan Sridhar.
Thank you so much, President Ramakrishna. Good evening, Ericsson. I never thought in a Toastmasters meeting at Ericsson, I would say good evening, Ericsson. I was used to saying good evening, Chennai, good evening, Bangalore, or good evening, whatever location it was. Such a thrilling moment for all of us. 174 meetings after we did our first. Here we are expanding our wings and flying. Good things may take time, but they happen eventually. So thank you all for joining us here. It has been a long weekend. I know in parts of Tamil Nadu, for a lot of people in Chennai, it's still a long weekend because tomorrow is the voting day and there is a holiday tomorrow. Some of us, including me, we took this day off as well to enjoy a long weekend. Despite that, it's so nice to see so many of our Toastmasters from across locations gathered here today and a lot of guests as well to celebrate the Toastmasters spirit, right? So my name is Raghavan. Like Ram said, I am currently in Chennai. I am a line manager here in the Chennai R&D. I've been with Ericsson since April 2015. So I just recently celebrated my 6th anniversary here. Talking about Toastmasters, I've been a Toastmaster since 2012, even before Ericsson. And so when I came into to Ericsson, I realized, okay, the forum can really start off here and we can all gain from it. So we charted this club. We started this club in 2016 October. So that's another 4.5 years that we have completed here of touching lives and transforming people. So we thought, why don't we take this brand across? Let's put this across out there to EGI. and more people can come into the forum and benefit out of it. So that's what this meeting is all about. Some of you may know about Toastmasters. Some of you might have attended the previous open house. Some of you have no idea what this forum is all about. So let's assume that we all start off at scratch, and I will try to walk you through what is Toastmasters, how does the philosophy of Toastmasters get transferred to individuals through clubs. We will also look at what we can get out of Toastmasters. We will slightly touch upon the club that is in existence today and how we plan to take it forward, and then open the floor for some questions and answers. So this is how the format will be: 30 minutes of presentation. I will not be the only one talking. We'll have another Toastmaster also who will walk you through a couple of slides, and then we'll basically open it up for questions. There are a few FAQs that we have gathered. We got from the previous open house as well. We will put all of them together and send out a material soon after. So that's what today is going to be all about. One request that I have for all of you is, if you can switch on your videos, please do switch it on. There is nothing that we would really love than seeing smiles of people, than having some faces to the names. Audio, you can of course unmute and mute when we want to interact with each other. But if you can switch on your videos and give us a smile, that will be our fuel for the day. Okay, now let's get started. We will also have a timer just for people who are uninitiated to Toastmasters. We will have a timer. A timer will keep showing us timing signals that tell us if we are on track with time. Like I said, we will have 30 minutes of presentations. So we'll get a green card at about 18 minutes, yellow card at about 22, and then a red card at about 25. Then there will be a 5 minutes of grace period. Usually we give 30 seconds for a 5-minute speech. You multiply it into 30 minutes and you get 5 minutes. So 18, 22, and 25 is when we'll get some cards and we will know how we are doing in terms of time. And Raghav, my namesake, is also helping us with timing sequence. Okay. Some of you have already told me you're able to see my screen, so I'm assuming that it's the same. I'm starting off. I can see Surya's face. I would really love to see more of you on video. If you can, please switch on your videos. Okay. First up, the basic question, right? What is Toastmasters? Now, when we have seen emails, so many of you are sending us emails. What is Toastmasters? So basically, Toastmasters is an international forum headquartered in the United States of America. It's a non-profit organization that has its philosophy in improving people's leadership and public speaking skills. It was formed in the year 1924 by one Mr. Ralph C. Smedley, and today we have about 3,64,000 members. When this slide was prepared, it's about 4 lakh right now, and it's spread across 145 countries with about 16,200 clubs. That's how many people have been touched and transformed by this forum and are currently members. So all of us, as part of this forum, are learning our public speaking and leadership skills, and we are part of this great forum that keeps helping us day after day. So we celebrated recently 90 plus years of its existence, so that the forum has a big track record of really creating big leaders. So next up, how will you benefit? You know, Toastmasters is a forum, right? Toastmasters helps public speaking and leadership, but how will I really benefit from it? Some of it are listed on screen. It will help you improve your public speaking skills, your leadership skills. It will also help you practice writing speeches, right? So many of us have a lot of thoughts in our heads, and sometimes when we want to speak, either we are not able to put them into a proper structure, or we are not able to tell them or speak them out in a proper fashion, which is in a structured, oriented, and seamless manner. Sometimes we don't gain an advantage at all in the workplace because we are just like everybody else. Toastmasters gives you a polished edge that makes you deliver a message that you want with a smile and in a really organized fashion with a lot of confidence. It helps you network. You see, there is a story that I keep telling everybody. I was not a telecom person at all. Back in 2014, I was working in World Bank as a Unix system administrator, having never worked in telecom, and yet I found my way into Ericsson. That was because one of my dearest friends from the Toastmasters fraternity works and still works in Ericsson. He referred me to a job, and then I did my interview, of course, but I really spoke well at the interview and I got in. So if not for Toastmasters, you and me, we would not be connected in this call at all. So it gives a great networking opportunity. It also helps you build your self-confidence and self-awareness. We are all at home behind a laptop screen. All I can see are two dots, and yet today I don't feel like you and me are sitting separately. In fact, Ira Thakur just offered me a coffee as well. She didn't offer really, I grabbed it from her. But it helps you really have that self-confidence and be able to talk to people regardless of any divide, culture, barrier, gender, digital technology, platform. Toastmasters really helps you give that kind of a self-confidence and awareness. It also helps giving you unlimited personal growth and professional growth as well, and maximizes your potential. Can anything really maximize the potential I have? Well, you might never know what your true potential is. I never knew or realized that I had leadership potential inside me until I joined Toastmasters, and I realized, hey, this is something I'm able to do well. And that is what you will get out of Toastmasters too. Okay, Raghavan, I know what is Toastmaster. Yeah, I can agree to a certain extent that, yeah, you're speaking well. So maybe Toastmasters gives you that. Maybe you're all saying that. But Raghavan, how does, where do we align, right? How do I, as Ankit Agarwal, meet Toastmaster and its philosophy? Where is that convergent point? Well, it's called a club. There are clubs through which Toastmasters philosophy reaches every individual member. And if you noticed to the introduction today, Venkat Reddy, he gave out the mission of any Toastmasters club. The mission, and it's on screen for you to read it as well, is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, if there is one thing that sticks to your mind, only one thing from today, it is this. Toastmasters gives you a platform for you to fail safe. This is a friendly platform. This is a platform that doesn't judge. And that's surprising because when you go onto the stage, the biggest thing about stage is stage fear, isn't it? The biggest thing about stage fear is the fear of embarrassment. Hey, what will happen if I go onto the stage and I bomb? And I just completely forget what I want to talk. When I am on a customer call, suddenly I go blank and the customer asks a question and I don't have an answer for him. Or when I am in an escalation and somebody asks me, hello, you made a mistake, why? And I'm just not able to justify myself or give an answer or explain. When I go into my appraisal meetings and I'm not able to tell my boss what I did for the entire year, despite having done so much. Those are hostile environments. Those are environments not under your control or not really in your grasp. Toastmasters, through the clubs, create a platform wherein you can hone those skills when no surprise is really surprise, when you can think on your feet and really get around and make yourself better. So Toastmasters Club, what does a club offer? It gives you a hands-on experience. Every club lets you do certain roles, lets you take up some challenges, which when you do over a period of time, it's like being in a gym, guys, okay? None of us are here to tell you, join Toastmasters Club tomorrow, you're going to become a better speaker. No. Treat Toastmasters like a gym. This gym is for your public speaking and leadership skills. The more and more you practice, the more and more you expose yourself, the better you become. The only difference is in a gym, you might have to sweat it out. You might be under a lot of pain, but in Toastmasters, you always come out with a smile. You have that ease, you have that friendliness, you have friends with you as well, who help you and have fun while improving your own language skills. You get to practice prepared and impromptu speaking. In the next slides, one of my fellow Toastmasters will explain what are the 3 segments in a Toastmasters meeting. And you will see that in every meeting, you get a chance to practice both prepared and impromptu speaking. There are opportunities to lead at every meeting. So when they say public speaking and leadership, a lot of us think Toastmasters is about speaking. Hey, it's also about leadership. You get to practice being a line manager, a program manager, an architect, or even a CEO in the Toastmasters meetings. CEO, how? Can I become Boria? Yeah, you can. We will tell you how. Receive feedback and evaluations in a supportive manner. We are all, let's accept it. We have all had these evaluations, right, of us. Hey, Raghavan, you didn't do any automation in the last year at all. How can I rate you extraordinary business impact? Right? Hey, yeah, I didn't, but you could have told me that in 100 different ways. Why did you have to tell it to me like that? See, again, let me put a disclaimer. I'm not saying if you join Toastmasters, tomorrow you'll get EBI, okay? Or tomorrow you'll start doing automation. But I'm saying, when you come into Toastmasters, the evaluations are more empathetic. The evaluations help you make things better. The evaluations help you not only just, the evaluations don't just tell you what you could have done better, but the Toastmasters evaluators and evaluations tell you how it could have been done better. I'll give you examples in the coming slides. You also, in a Toastmasters meeting, get access to a mentor. You see, when you come into Toastmasters, every individual member gets assigned to somebody called a mentor. The mentor is not a subject matter expert, but a mentor is somebody who has journeyed in this Toastmasters structure, in this Toastmasters fraternity for slightly longer. So he or she will be able to tell you how to do a speech better, which roles to take, which can lead you upwards in life or in Toastmasters career. What are the different challenges you as a personality can attempt, and how you can ace these challenges. My mentor, I got access to my mentor in 2012, and today she is the best friend that I ever have. She's a very close family friend as well, and we go much beyond Toastmasters, and her influence is all omnipresent in all walks of my life. She even teaches me how to be a better father. So that's what happens within Toastmasters, because there are no objectives. You don't pay anybody. This mentor-mentee relationship is purely out of mutual respect and friendship. So it transcends boundaries as well. Those are certain things that the Toastmasters Club can give you. Next. Okay, club, right? I still want to know a little more about what happens in a regular meeting. What do you guys do there? Do you guys just talk like it's happening now? Raghavan talks, you all listen, or is there more to it? There is a little more to it. And this is when I start searching for my best friend. Badri, are you with us in the call? Do we have Badri on the call? He joined, and I think I'm just seeing my messages. I think he got dropped. Okay, yeah, he has just pinged me. He said my internet has deserted me. No worries. So I'm sorry, guys. You're tough luck. You get to hear the same voice, see the same face, maybe a little wider smile, and I'll try to keep it as engaging as possible with you until Badri joins. Right. So what happens in a regular meeting? So every Toastmasters meeting is split into 3 segments. Okay, when we go, oh, thank you, Ankit. It's nice of you to put up that smiley. Ram and Surya were blackmailed by me to keep putting it, so they are doing it. But Ankit has caught on to it. Yeah, there's a Toastmaster in you, I can see. Good. So what happens in a regular meeting? So there are 3 segments, ladies and gentlemen, in a regular Toastmasters meeting. Prepared speech is the first. Table topics is the second. Evaluation, perhaps my most favorite section, in the third. So what are these 3 sections? Well, prepared speech, every Toastmaster, when you enroll as a Toastmaster, the Toastmasters International gives you a guideline. They give you a path. You can choose whichever path you want to traverse in. I will show you what are these paths in the next slide. You get to choose a path. In these paths, in every path, there are 5 levels. Okay, one path gives you 5 levels. Each of these 5 levels have different tasks or different challenges. Let me take an example. So I am currently enrolled in a path called dynamic leadership. The theory is, at the end of my dynamic leadership journey, I would have become a dynamic leader. So in my dynamic leadership, in my level 1, the first challenge is go in front of an audience or in front of your laptop, speak about yourself for 3 to 4 minutes. Icebreaker. I've never failed an interview because of Raghavan, tell me about yourself question. If I failed, it's because of something else. Okay, I have a lot of practice in delivering these icebreaker speeches. So Toastmasters gives you this practice. It starts off right there. Your second speech is about speaking about anything under the sun, but organizing it into a proper speech, delivering it, taking feedback on that particular speech, inculcating that feedback, and re-delivering your speech again. First of all, write up a script. Deliver a speech, take feedback on that speech and how it could have been improved, and re-deliver that speech and watch how your own speech transformed in a couple of days or weeks or whatever it is. Then there is a third challenge of researching a topic. Our Sergeant at Arms, Venkat Reddy, I will never forget it. He delivered a speech on a strand of hair. So he researched on a strand of hair about everything that goes behind the marvelous creation that the hair is, and he delivered a 7-minute marvel. So you get to research on anything you can on leadership, on your name. What is the name? What is the meaning of Ira Thakur? Why do people love coffee? Why is Ankit's smile so infectious? Keep building on it. You research on something and then you deliver it. And then there are multiple leadership challenges as well. Play a role of a timer, play the role of a grammarian, an accounter. I'll tell you what these roles are a little later as well. So there are different leadership tasks and then speech tasks. You complete a set of them and you get the level 1 completed. Similarly, there are 5 levels that you must complete to get one path cleared. Anybody who is able to clear 5 such paths is crowned Distinguished Toastmaster or DTM. So the stepping stone for it, the first step is prepared speeches. That's what happens in the first segment. You come prepared with the Toastmaster prescribed guidelined speech, you deliver it, and then that's your first step, and that's what happens in every meeting as well. Second is impromptu speech. I call this the magic wand. So impromptu speech is nothing but we have a designated table topics master. He or she starts preparing and has a list of a few surprise topics in handy. And suddenly when a meeting is in progress, when the Toastmaster, when the TT session is going on, let's say Surya is the table topics master. Surya looks into the audience and finds Anup Kumar Agrawal's attire is really nice on his DP. So he says, Anup, why don't you step up and deliver this speech? And he gives you a topic, something like leadership is all about the title, leadership is not about the title, it's about action. And then Anup has to, in 10 seconds, gather his thoughts on the topic and then deliver a speech on that topic for 1 to 2 minutes, right? In its very structure, the table topics is designed in such a way to challenge you, to challenge your on-the-spot thinking, to challenge your communication skills, to challenge how you are able to assimilate thoughts. You know what? This is a great leveler, my dear friends. Even Bourrier, to the graduate who joined yesterday, there are struggles, and the struggles are real for everybody. Nobody is able to ace it in their first attempt itself. Yes, some of us last a little longer, but then the challenge is a challenge. So that's what happens in every Toastmasters meeting, the second segment, which is the table topics segment, where you're given a topic on the spot and you're asked to respond. You can, of course, I'm sure, translate this into your real life as well, or your professional life, how this will help you. You go into so many calls, you're into so many meetings, you get into team meetings, you get into IPM meetings, you get into discussions with many other people, and there are questions that catch you by surprise. Have you ever realized once you end the call, suddenly you 10 different thoughts come to your mind and like, Arey yaar, why didn't I say this? How did I miss saying this? I had it. Right? Have you felt that? Has it happened to you in your life? Well, it happens to all of us. Toastmasters helps you practice the art of telling what really comes to your mind in a structured way, in a clear way, and without wasting too much time or without letting go of that moment. And that's the magic about table topic segment. The third, perhaps the most important segment in any Toastmasters meeting, the segment that keeps Toastmasters separate from any English speaking or leadership forum out there is called the evaluation segment. The difference here is that there are no SMEs. I evaluate Surya, Surya evaluates Ankit, Ankit evaluates Anup, Anup evaluates Ira. That's how we all do it. We are together as a group. We each evaluate based on our perceptions, because ultimately it's audience's perceptions that really create a better world. The Toastmasters International, like how they give guidelines for a prepared speaker, they give guidelines to evaluate that particular speech. For example, if I am delivering an introduction speech or an icebreaker speech, Toastmasters gives you a guideline on, was Raghavan's voice audible and visible? Did Raghavan exhibit confidence? Was there nervousness in his speaking? Did he use notes? Was he able to communicate well to the audience? What do you think Raghavan could have done better to improve his speech? These are 5-6 guidelines that is there on the evaluation sheet. So if anybody is evaluating me, say Anup is evaluating me, Anup looks into these guidelines and answers each of these questions as per the guidelines and ultimately evaluates me. And together, both of us grow, because Anup also starts thinking, oh, is it? So I have to think of all of these when I evaluate an icebreaker. So tomorrow, when I deliver an icebreaker, I should have these in mind. I should improve myself. So not only that, in an evaluation, there is also a role called timer. Today I said Raghav is the timer. Raghav has not yet shown his card, which means I'm still within the 15-minute mark. So Raghav, see, Raghav's green card has come, as I say. So now he's showing us the green card, which means I've completed 15 minutes. So in every speech, for every speaker, depending on your speaking times, there are a green card, yellow card, and red card that are shown. That, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you is a leadership trait. Raghav is gently yet assertively telling us what we need to hear or what we need to see. Here he's showing me, Raghavan, watch your clock. So even when you are speaking, you will get these cards that tell you watch for your time. Then there is somebody called an R counter, right? An R counter's only job is to listen to the entire speaker's set and note down words like matlab, basically, actually, so, but, like, you know, we do that, don't we? When we are speaking, every 2 seconds in our sentences, these words creep in. Like, so, kyunki, you know what I'm trying to say, right? How do I say it? All of these. So basically, an R counter notes down all of this and tells you the report at the end of your speech. And you'll be really surprised. Alok Mishra would have delivered a 7-minute speech, and Surya will come and say, Alok, you used 50 hours when you were speaking for 7 minutes. Alok is like, why are you lying? 7 minutes only. I spoke. How could I have used 50 hours? But hey, we do it. And there is somebody in the meeting who listens actively throughout the stretch of the meeting, marks down what you spoke, and gives you the report at the end of the meeting. Next time you go onto the stage, you will consciously note down your own self how many times you are using that word and possibly improve. We also have what is called the grammarian. He or she also gives their report at this evaluation segment. Basic grammar skills, your tenses, your. Did you all know there is this there is this set of words that are commonly used which are not right. Why? Because is one word. Why? Because is not a word at all. Why itself means because, and because itself means because. There is no such word as why because, and we generally use it. I can't able. Somebody is talking. Yes, Raghav, you're saying something.
Can't able.
Can't able. These are words that actually mean the same thing, and until a grammarian comes and points it out, we may not realize, but once the grammarian points it out, we all realize. So these are certain elements in the evaluation segment which give us a perspective of how our meetings were and how they could really improve forward. There's also a general evaluator who gives the overall assessment of how the meeting was and how the meeting could have gone better. So an exhaustive demo for you. We will do a live demo shortly in another day, but that's what happens in a club meeting. So Toastmasters philosophy gets translated into a club, and in a club meeting, these are the 3 segments in every club meeting, and through different segments and through different challenges and roles, the club helps you improve your leadership and public speaking skills. At this time, I want to tell you all a couple of quick things. If you have any questions, keep them, write them down, or type them in the chat. We will all look into the questions that you have asked, and we will definitely respond to you, if possible, at the end of this meeting itself in the Q&A session, or we will write to you personally with an answer as well. Also, please feel free during the Q&A session to unmute yourself and ask a question. Don't raise your hand through that smiley, because if you raise it, if there are 5-6 people who raise, we may miss who raised it. So when there is a chance for you to ask a question, best to unmute and ask. Don't worry about the chaos. I will try to manage it in some way. Those questions that we miss answering today because of time, we will write out to you a response. Good. So Toastmasters hierarchy, right? What goes in? What is the overall vision? We saw the club, but what's the overall picture? Now, the basic building block is you, the members. We have put you at the top. You are also the basic building block. A member, collection of members form a club. Collection of clubs form an area. Area is a collection of 4 or 5 clubs. Across any organization, across any cultural background, it's a heterogeneous mixture. They are grouped with different logic, some with geography, some with the kind of clubs they are, corporate or community, some with the kind of language that is spoken in the clubs. There are English-speaking clubs. There are regional language-based clubs as well that help you improve regional languages. So there are different classifications, but a collection of club makes an area. A collection of areas make a division. Collection of divisions make a district. Collection of districts make a region, and all regions put together form what is called the Toastmasters International, which is the world headquarters in Colorado. Every segment of this has a leadership, has leaders. The club that I just spoke about, Raghav, thank you. I've seen the yellow card. The club has what is called an executive committee. Now, Toastmasters is really like having a Toastmasters club is like having a startup. Okay, so you have 7 people who lead every club, volunteers or bakras. So we pick, or they volunteer themselves. We have a president, vice president education, vice president public relations, vice president membership, secretary, treasurer, sergeant at arms. These are the 7 roles that form the executive committee. Now, if you map it to a startup, it's like CEO, CFO, COO, executive director, administration manager, people head, and inventory manager. So that's how Toastmasters has structured the overall club itself. So you get 7 people who lead a club. A club is a minimum of 20 members. There are 7 leaders for a club who take care of different operations. You get to play one of these 7, or you get to play one of the members, and you get to decide and define and influence the journey of your club, thereby learning how life is outside a club as well. You also get what is called an area director who manages the 4 or 5 clubs of an area. Look at it like a line manager, right? There are 5, 6 clubs under an area director. Each club has, say, 20 members. So that's 100 people's progress that as an area director you can directly influence. A division director is a collection of areas, even bigger responsibility. A district trio, district, because it's huge, has 3 people. District director, who is the head of operations, who is the head of everything. There is a CGD, club growth director, and a PQD, program quality director. One is responsible for the health of clubs, health of the growth of the clubs, and other for the training and education of each of these clubs. We also have collection of districts from a region. We have regional advisors, and we have a CEO. The current CEO is Richard E. Peck. He carries the Toastmasters brand with him. The reason I'm showing this to you is Toastmasters is not just speaking. There's a lot of leadership and leadership opportunities out there. And I wanted to show you that slide. Okay, right. We get a picture. Okay. But now I spoke to you about pathways, right? Now you might want to know how exactly do I get on the educational area of Toastmasters? How do I really learn from this forum? How can I know what I'm learning? Well, what are pathways? We call this pathway segment. What are pathways? It's a learning experience that Toastmasters gives you. It's a multi-language online learning tool. Now, the world went online last year. Toastmasters went online in 2019 itself. Gives you a tool that helps you leverage over 300 practical workplace skills, including interview prep, like he said, online meeting etiquette, leadership development, project management, and conflict resolution. How can a learning tool be so exhaustive? Well, there are 11 paths that Toastmasters International put together. Like I said, each of these paths is a journey. When you enroll as a member, you get to choose one path for yourself to start off. There are 5 levels in each path. It's a journey. And as you go through the journey of learning and performing and practicing, you master that path. There are multiple paths, like you can see on screen. I have subscribed to 2 paths. One is dynamic leadership. Another is team collaboration. But of course, you can pick from any of these. If you can't pick for your own self, there is a questionnaire that you answer at the beginning. And at the end of that questionnaire, you will be given suggested paths to pick. There is a dynamic leadership path. There is an effective coaching for some of you who are interested in coaching. There is a humor path for if you want to really explore that avenue. Innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery. You see, even before the pandemic struck, Toastmasters thought presentation is a very important skill, and they came up with an entire path for it. Strategic relationship, team collaboration, and of course, visionary communication. 11 different paths, each path having multiple challenges. You deliver roughly anywhere between 10 to 12 speeches, and you play, thank you, Raghav, and you play anywhere between 15 to 16 leadership roles before you can complete one path. And so it's an entire journey. You can complete 5 paths to get DTM. It's the ultimate award. Once you have done that, what do I do? Well, you can redo the DTM again because there are 11 paths, enough for you to do 2 separate paths and some more as well. So that's what the online pathways is all about. Helps you really practice your skills in a very organized fashion. We should talk about budget, shouldn't we? The question that might be running on all your heads is, okay, yeah, Raghavan, at least the presentation that you gave is interesting. What about the cost? Well, Toastmasters is a non-profit organization, okay? Here is what it does not mean. When we say non-profit, it doesn't mean there is no cost, it's 0 rupees. No. Toastmasters is headquartered in Colorado, and then it is spread across the world. So to be able to manage there are so many servers needed, there are so many people they have to employ, there are so many accesses that Toastmasters gives to material, to proprietary information, to a lot of contests, and there are a lot of other Toastmasters events as well, which you gain access to. So it's not free, it's not 0 cost, but it's a very nominal cost. If you are starting a new club, to register your entity with Toastmasters, you pay a one-time fee of $125. And if you want to become a member of a Toastmasters club, you pay a one-time fee for life of $20. What does this one-time fee enlist you with? Well, if you are a Toastmasters member, you can attend a meeting of Apple, Facebook, TCS, CTS, Infosys, Mahindra, name it. I have been to all the corporates in Chennai, at least, if not. So we have had meetings with in Facebook, with Apple, with even Ericsson, Colorado, Ericsson, Texas. So once you become a member, the world is open to you. If you have a meeting invite of any of these organizations, you can go into their meeting. In the physical world, I've gone into all of these companies also, TCS, Infosys, Mahindra, CTS, so many other ThoughtWorks, a lot of these companies in Chennai. You walk into their offices, be part of their meetings as well, and of course, get friend and networking. So one-time $20 fee, and you get access to all of these Toastmasters materials as well. Then there is a renewal fee that you pay once in 6 months. It's about $45. So in a year, a registered member pays $90, 5,500, 5,600 rupees. My math may not be great today. What it is, 80 rupees. Okay, if it's 80, we pay what, 9/8. I mean, you do the math. I'm bad at it, but it's somewhere around that, right? 7,000, 8,000 rupees per year is what you pay. So at Ericsson, so if your line manager approves it, currently the existing members in the club are all covered under the line cost. But of course, even before you become a member, you need to have a dialogue with your line manager. If your line manager approves it, then this cost can be taken in your cost center. But again, this is not a rule. This is not an all applying directive. And my advice or suggestion or recommendation to all of you is whatever we gain from Toastmasters is purely personal. We gain it, and because of that, we transfer it to the organization. So if you're really passionate about the forum, be ready to spend this $90 on your own. If the company reimburses it, consider it a bonus. That's purely my individual thought and opinion. I don't force it on any of you, but I have been the last 10 years taken the cost my own self usually because I benefit a lot from it. Because we already have a registered club in Ericsson, it's called Ericsson Toastmasters Club, ETC. The $125 is not really applicable as a fee. And it's not on you, it will be taken by Ericsson. And if you become a member, yeah, you pay out $20 as a one-time fee. But we will get, these are the finances, but of course, anytime any of you want to join this forum, we'll send you a form. Surya is our Vice President membership. He's on video with us. Surya will write out an email to all of you, asking you to discuss with your line manager, get your interests aligned, take approval if he is okay to, and then you pay it using your card and get it reimbursed through Concur. One of the things that we're also doing now is now that we have opened it across locations, so we are trying to frame a common policy for EGI. It's in the works. We don't have it yet, so that we can, but it will come in soon. And Arun Ray is taking it with his LT team as well. So we might have a common reimbursement policy that might start being applicable to all of us very soon. So that's the cost. It's not costlier, as you can see. In fact, it's very less compared to what you really gain. let me go forward. I think we are nearing the Q&A segment. A peek into ETC, what have we done as a club till now? I will show you a few pictures and then I'll also play you a nice video. You can see that video and you will get a taste of what we have really done and how you'll get a vibe of the club. Those are some of the pictures. You see, we are also having, so while we are learning, we're having a lot of fun. And even educational sessions that happen in the club from speakers outside the club, they do it in a very fun manner. We cut cakes, we gain a lot of weight because we eat a lot of sweets, and we we get together with each other and have a lot of fun. While you are seeing that, I will have to actually disconnect the sharing and reconnect again and set up the. This time, I think I would have learned something from technology. I'll try to set up the audio as well from my system. Give me a second. Of course, when it comes up, I want you all to tell me if you can see if you can hear the audios. Now I've switched to, okay, I'm asking for system sound. I hope you all can see my screen still, right? Some of you unmute and say yes.
Yes, we see clearly.
Very good. I'll play a video. I hope you can hear the audio as well. By one of our Toastmasters for our 100th meeting. Like I told you all, we are one step away from our 175th. We all truly believe when we divide knowledge, we multiply learning. When we divide knowledge, we multiply learning, and that's why we wanted more of you in the club, and that's why this open house session itself. So I'm going to switch back to my phone. Let me see. It keeps I'm audible. At least I can hear you. Okay, good. Some success stories. So I'm on borrowed 5 minutes now. The red card came. There's still 5 more minutes. So in case some of you are wondering, some of the success stories. What has this club achieved in the 174 meetings till now? Because you need to understand what you are joining, shouldn't you? So currently the club has 24 active members. There are members from Chennai, Kolkata, Gurgaon, Noida, and I have put Kolkata twice, but Chennai, Kolkata, Gurgaon, Noida, and some members are joining us from Bangalore. Originally, the club was formed in the pre-pandemic era in Chennai. The headquarters of the club is still in Chennai. But then when the pandemic struck, when we all went digital, all location barriers broke. So today we have members from across EGI. And we will continue to add members from outside these locations as well. And we will set up a club that is truly pan-India. What will we do when the pandemic is over and when we all return to office, we have multiple options. We can still do what we are currently doing, be completely online, or you guys can get into a meeting room in your location. We will get into the meeting room in our location and continue hybrid meetings through video conference. Or if it really becomes necessary that we need different clubs in different locations, we can always choose to branch off and then create different clubs and different entities under different locations. That we can always do. But at this point, the club has 24 members with members from quite a few locations. What have these members done till now? Like I said, we were chartered in 2016, and until now, because we are predominantly one location specific, we have in 4 years, we have touched about 75 different Toastmasters, some of whom are still with us, some are in Sweden, some have left the company, and some have really grown in their personal and professional lives as well. We have been twice adjudged the best club in the area based on our educational awards and member progresses. We have 2 line managers, 1 program manager, and 2 architects at this point, and 50 more people in this meeting right now. And when you all come in, we are going to only increase these numbers. And there is a lot of diversity as well in terms of gender, in terms of career progression, in terms of job stages, in terms of profiles that we do. This club is a truly heterogeneous mixture. Members of our club you might have seen the tagline, right? We play, we enjoy, we win, and we compete. So we have won a lot of these awards, and you would have seen some showcase of the trophies that we got in 100. Well, in the 70 meetings that have happened since, we have won a lot more of these awards as well. So you get to rub shoulders with real speaking champions, with leadership champions who are ready to share knowledge and learn from you as much as you can learn from them as well. We have 2 area directors from this club in different stages. The current area director is from our club, and the previous area director was also from our club. Every area director or every leader serves a term of 6 months or 12 months, depending on circumstances and choosing on the title. So it's like everybody gets a taste of it. It's not just one person keeps doing it. If you're interested, every 6 months, the role opens up and you can take up these leadership jobs. So we have had 2 area directors and of course, 1 DTM in this club. So what does it do when you go outside of Ericsson? I mean, when you go outside of your own club alone? Well, members from our forum are highly visible in across Ericsson. We have had meetings with Arun Ray Chaudhary just recently. We have had discussions with Indranil Das. Some of us have had discussions with Amitabh Ray as well. Otherwise you might not have this platform, but once you come into Toastmasters clubs, because of the various events and various opportunities that the forum gives you, you get to rub shoulders with really senior leaders and people across Ericsson, and you really get a chance to meet and greet them. Site AEMs in Bangalore, Kolkata, Gurgaon, and Chennai predominantly are conducted by Toastmasters because we are good at speaking, because we stand on stage, because we know the digital world as well. And we have had all of the MCs and hosts coming in from this Toastmasters club. We also represented EGI at the Global Time to Learn event. It was me. So there was a contest that happened, and we were asked to deliver a 7-minute speech. Some of us sent in, and from EGI, the only winner was from our club. So I was taken to Stockholm, given a 45-minute speaking time on the stage. It was streamed globally. There are about 500 people in Stockholm watching us speak, and the Toastmasters flag flew really high there. Since then, this happened in 2019. 2020, Time to Learn was again spearheaded by the global L&D team, but it came in form of TV shows, and we hosted a TV show. 2021 in June, the show is happening again, and once again the hosts are from the Toastmasters club. So we get exposure, visibility across the company, which is amazing, and you might not even imagine that to happen, but it has happened. We have Impact Award winners from this club, from our own club. I'm not saying the Impact Award is because of being a member of this club, but I'm saying this club played a very influential role for the award winner. I know the award winner personally, so I can speak on his behalf. We have also had Customer Excellence Award achievers and top performers in the club. I'm not saying the club is the reason they won it. I'm saying when we have such performers in the club, all of us can learn from it, and that's a huge, huge bonus. We have also had members. You saw Venkat Reddy, who delivered his Sergeant at Arms address today, who told us to keep our phones switched off. And he asked Ankit to switch on his camera. And Ankit has been so nice and kind that he has kept it switched on throughout the meeting. But I remember Venkat's first meeting. He couldn't even speak one sentence fully. And yet here he is today. He's one of the humorous speech champions from our club. and he is a delight to watch when you watch him speak. The transformation is real, and you can see it in front of your eyes. Those are some of the things that we as a club have done. And I've told you about a quick wrap up is what is Toastmasters. It's a public speaking and leadership improvement forum that gives you a positive and learning atmosphere to improve yourself. The philosophy transfers to you through clubs. A club is a friendly and passionate forum where you meet and greet people, and you learn through this forum, methodology called Pathways, which is an online learning tool. Each meeting has 3 segments: prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation. You evaluate me, I evaluate you. It's a peer learning. There are no SMEs really. And the charge is $45 every 6 months, multiplied into a year $90 per year. If your line manager is okay, it can be taken in your cost center. If not, you bear it, be ready to do it. We are anyway setting up a global reimbursement model for EGI. And our club is well known. It flies high. It takes you places. Well, with that, presentation is done, and we can open up for questions. Fastest hands first. If you can unmute yourself and ask, and I hear your voice, we'll reach out to you.
Sir, Alok Mishra this side.
Hi, Alok.
Sir, how this session will conduct in weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
So I thought I had it somewhere. Okay, So what happens is in our club, what happens is we took inspiration from Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So we do odd and even. Odd numbered meetings happen every Friday. Even numbered meetings happen on the alternate Thursday. Right? Every meeting is for 60 minutes during the business hours. On Fridays, it's between 4:30 to 5:30. On Fridays, it's between 5 to 6, and Thursdays, it's between 4:30 and 5:30. It happens on Microsoft Teams. So 1 hour per week, odd numbered meetings on Fridays, even numbered meetings on Thursdays. Alok.
Sir, how many members are in a group?
No specific limitations, Alok. Anywhere between 12 people to 200 people can join in. How many people can get to speak in a meeting because of time? Because it's 60 minutes, roughly about 15 people get to speak through different roles. The more and more strength that we have, either we have to increase the duration of a meeting or we do multiple meetings in a week.
Okay.
Hi, Raghavan. This is Nupur.
Hi, Nupur.
So I don't have a question, but actually I would just want to thank you for rekindling the fire of Toastmasters in me. So I've been with Toastmasters since 2006. I was there with Infosys Toastmasters in Bangalore, Pune, and at different places. So I've been part of Toastmasters when we didn't have pathways at that point of time, and we didn't have area directors. So I was the area governor, if I could say so. But yes, there's one thing I would just want to tell everyone in this meeting. See, Toastmasters, as Raghavan has beautifully presented, and I think he's given all the information that you need. Toastmasters is something which goes way beyond your organization, and it's something which goes way beyond beyond English speaking. So it is more about getting the confidence to speak in front of people and the confidence to put your point forth. And that is not only in your job. As Raghavan gave some examples, we've seen multiple examples of people who've gone way, way beyond what they even thought could happen for them. So I have had mentees who, as Raghavan said about someone just now, couldn't speak a single sentence in the first meeting, and we had to ask them to repeat their icebreaker. But later on, they went on to Carnegie Mellon University, are today product managers at Amazon, and there have been many, many such success stories. So I would really want to just bring this to everyone. I am not an active Toastmaster anymore, but Toastmasters is something that you should definitely consider. And Toastmasters is something that would not only give you the courage to speak up what you want, but it would also open up your avenues across the globe. As Raghavan mentioned, it goes way beyond Ericsson. It goes way beyond any location. So please, please do join Toastmasters. And that is what I would want to say. It is a very small investment for your career. It is a very small investment for your personality development. Do this, but do not expect Toastmasters to be something wherein someone comes and teaches you. It's a mutual learning forum. So sorry, Raghavan, for just barging it like this,
No, no,
but I
absolutely.
think that is something that needed to be said.
Very beautiful, Nupur. Thank you so much. So when are you joining our club?
Soon.
But thank you. I mean, we could really use your wisdom and your support as well, Nupur. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Definitely. Thanks, Raghavan.
Thank you, Nupur. I have put up some FAQs which are on display on your screen. If some of you want to voice it out as well, go ahead. We need to hear more voices. And anybody wants to ask any of these questions, or you have any questions on your own?
Yeah, Raghavan Lokesh.
Hi, Lokesh.
Yeah, Raghavan, most of the Toastmaster meetings are happening on the Zoom, which
Yeah.
is not allowed in Ericsson. So that
Yes.
I believe remains a challenge for EGI employees.
So Lokesh, so the
Yeah.
meetings that happen in our club, right? The Ericsson Toastmasters Club meetings, they will happen only on Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
Any meeting outside of our club, say contests or area gatherings or other meetings, some of the corporates still use Microsoft Teams, so we can join in there. But yes, a large part of online Toastmasters meetings are on Zoom. But like all of us have found different ways to handle this life, we have also learned to install Zoom on our phones, right? Or there are many meetings of Zoom which you can attend using the web version of Zoom. So even in our
Okay.
Ericsson laptops, the web version of Zoom are supported. There are one or two very specific meetings where they require you to register to be able to log in, which you cannot even on web. Those are times when we use our mobile phones or we borrow laptops of our spouses or from our fathers or from neighbors. So Venkat Reddy borrowed a laptop from his neighbor to contest in an international speech contest. I borrowed my wife's laptop to contest in the same. So we make do with what we have, Lokesh. But Ericsson Toastmasters meetings will happen only on Microsoft Teams.
Okay, thanks for the clarity.
Okay, one more question before I head on to the answers for the FAQs on the screen.
Sir, if line manager not approve this amount, then can we have to bear ourselves?
Yes.
Or
Yes, that's how it will be, Lokesh. Because without line manager approval, we cannot ask the company to fund for us, right? But like I said, see, again, this is something that is very personal to me. One thing that I would really say is tell yourself this $90 is my personal investment towards me. If the organization helps you, if they do reimburse, take it as a bonus, right? I mean, no line manager has ever said no, Lokesh, okay? Not really. But then,
sir, if same organization in Chennai line manager are approving, then why they will not?
no, I'm not
approve in-
saying no. Let's not bring location here. Okay, like I said, we have members from Gurgaon, Pune, Kolkata, and Chennai. See, I am a line manager myself. Okay, so I'll speak on that dimension. There are specific people in my team who I want to really focus on, who I really want them to improve on their communication skills. There are others who I want them to improve elsewhere. So I might say, hey, why don't you look at this avenue, which is better for you in our personal opinion. So the conversation between a line manager and an employee is, I think, between them, and we can't really speak for it, Lokesh. But what I'm saying is, if there is a need, your line manager, you just tell them every line manager will support for sure, because that's how our experience has been. Kolkata, Gurgaon, Pune, and even our Amitabh Ray, everybody is very supportive. Sorry, yeah, Amitabh Ray and Arun Ray Chaudhary. So they've all been very supportive. Consider this more like a disclaimer, okay? Because your line manager and you might have many different reasons.
Sir, can we get any mail regarding this amount which we can show to our LM?
Yes, the moment you express, so this is something I want to tell all of you. If any of you are interested in becoming Toastmasters, in joining this forum, please write an email to Surya. Surya, please switch on your camera, show us one more time who you are. Surya Kannapiran is our Vice President Membership. Please write an email to him right away if you want, or ping him separately. Surya will send out an email, Lokesh. He will share with you what is Toastmasters, how do you become a member of a club, what are the different costs.
Alok Mishra.
Sorry, Alok. Sorry. Yeah. So he will send you. I kept saying Lokesh. I'm sorry, my bad. So he will send you a clear, clear emailer and then that will give you multiple details, which you can forward it to your line manager, and then we can take it from there, Alok.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Okay, I'll quickly jump onto the FAQ. We have just about the time. So others who had some questions, I'm very sorry if I'm not able to take it. Please type it out. I will maybe borrow some time, steal some time from you guys, and give you some answers if you have. But some of the things on the screen. How does TM help in improving communication leadership? Like you learn here by doing, right? Practice makes a man perfect. So you keep doing it and you keep improving. Do I need prior experience? No, absolutely not. All of us start from scratch. The ones that have experience end up becoming mentors and guide some of you. How often do meetings happen? One of you asked the question. Every week, once a week, 60 minutes per meeting. We can increase or decrease based on our comfort. There is no mandatory time, etc. How do we handle various locations? Like I said, today we have multiple locations already in the club. We have 3 options post-pandemic: continue as is virtually, or have hybrid meetings that go into 2 separate physical locations or more than that and connect through Microsoft Teams virtual conference, or if there is a strong need, create individual entities in different locations led by an ExCom and having 20 plus members. We can do that as well. How will we handle large numbers? Well, for to best help people, it is recommended to have between 30 and 60 members in any club. Anything beyond, say, 50 or 60, it's advised to start a newer club so that everybody gets a better chance. We will handle and discuss numbers once we get a full picture. For now, if any of you are interested, please feel free to write to Surya or to me or to Sakshi, from whom you would have gotten this invite, and we will help you. Right. 2 minutes beyond 5:30, but I think we have covered most of what we wanted to. In case you have any questions or comments or feedback, please feel free to type them out and we will get back to you and respond. With that, thank you all so much for joining in. We have really enjoyed putting this up for you. We hope you enjoyed it equally as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Raghavan. Thank you, whole ETC team.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you, Raghavan. Thank you very much.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.